okay, these feelings aren't gonna be forever. Like I'll eventually feel normal and with the help of mood stabilizers and a hearty dose of Rilke, look at me now. Welcome. Oh my God, thank you for having me. And this is my little girl, Darcy.
Well, yeah, Darcy. So I'm technically a third wheel today, really. No.
Isn't she just heaven?
It's been a journey with you two, though.
Yes, well, Darcy is Sam's dog, and when I first met her, she was a little bit protective, a little bit shy, she played it hard to get with me, but now we're family. One of the books I selected, I picked because it was the first book we were assigned for school that I couldn't put down after I finished the homework pages. I was like, and I had this weird reaction. I was like, why do I want to keep reading this? Because growing up, I was just so hard on myself, had to be a good student. It was just like boom, 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 boom. And reading becomes this thing that isn't fun and that you're forced to do. Yeah. And so finally discovering that I could enjoy it as well was very beautiful. And that was my freshman year of high school. I didn't want to go to this high school. I didn't have any friends. I didn't know anyone. I was having my first wave of true loneliness and depression. And so we were assigned Catcher in the Rye, and I was like, it me.
Well, that's what I was surprised you thought, because to me, I was like, I want to fuck Holden. And you were like, I am Holden. Well, yeah, so explain what actually did you identify with him about?
Shout out, he's a child, so we'll cut that.
Okay, shout out, I was a freshman in high school. We were same age. He was older than me. It would have been an age gap relationship on his end.
Okay, respect. As someone who at that time had never been kissed or even looked at by a boy, I'm sure I was like, I need someone who gets me. I need someone who understands how effed up my life is. By the way, my life was perfect without flaw. And I'm reading his book and I'm like, oh my God, this is just like how stressed I get when my mom drives me to carpool.
So I read it for the first time recently.
That's a lot. I can't imagine reading this book for the first time.
And all of your guys' feelings about it feel so strange to me, I guess, because I don't have that experience of having read it as a teenager. I mean, I thought it was great. I thought it's just, I mean, one of the things that stuck out to me is how much the sort of the tone of how we think of how people post on social media now feels like that's sort of everything being so over it and post-ironic, eye-rolling.
Oh yeah, apathy.
Yeah. The sort of douchey cool guy Instagram.
Yeah.
I was just like, oh, they just stole it from this.
Yes.
And so I thought that. I also thought, I thought he captures really effectively a teenager's zigzagging point of view.
Yeah.
And the sort of one moment how you're like, oh, this is the best thing ever, this is awful. You're in that sort of self-obsessed. And that even that Jemima Kirk post that's how do you feel more confident? And she's like, I think you should all think about yourselves less. I was like, same goes for guys, because this guy thinks about himself a lot. So that was my hot take. That's a good segue onto one of your other books.
Ooh, which?
The Secret History.
I feel I wonder if why these two books stick with me so much is because they're only in my dreamy in my head. It's just so magical in my head.
Yeah.
And this is actually one that recently I listened to it because Donna Tartt reads it.
Oh, really?
Oh, what is her voice like?
Crazy. It's so funny.
Oh, because she's Southern.
She's got a Southern drawl and she's like, Bunny was there at the restaurant. It's so good.
I just love that on the back page.
And
It's a full page portrait.
She's Vanity Fair's one of the most stylish women ever.
So fab. And if you wrote this whole thing, you deserve at least one picture of yourself. I think multiple.
So when did you first read it?
I don't remember. I feel like years ago I tried to read it and I never actually finished. And then when I finally listened to it, which was a year or two ago, recently. And I think it's good that I didn't read it when I was younger because I would have been at Bennington College studying classics, but it's such a spectacularly beautiful place. And the way she writes is just so rich and delicious. And I love haunted library vibes. I love romanticizing academia. I would never ever be able to be an academic. That would be hell on earth for me. But I love romanticizing the aesthetic because it's heaven.
When you guys read a sort of book like The Secret History, do you find yourself identifying more with the outsider who is trying to penetrate the world, or the characters who are in it and there's a weirdo lurking on the edge?
Oh, that's such an interesting question. Well, what do you feel?
I always go straight outsider.
100%, same. Right. I'm those freaky classics kids would never give me the time of day.
No, exactly.
They would hate me.
No, totally.
I can't think about Donna Tartt without thinking about Bret Easton Ellis and Jonathan Lethem, who were all in the same grade at Bennington. And I will say, I think I would be an outsider in Donna Tartt's world, but I do feel a very formative book for me is Less Than Zero, and they just like those people.
Yeah.
Even though it was Providence, Rhode Island, where I grew up, like that felt more like the world I lived in which. So basically, I'm saying I'd be an insider.
Oh, look at you, girl.
Look at you. No, I'm 100% a lurker. I would be like just on the edge, just watching everything.
Me too. Especially, I remember going to college and seeing the kids who'd like gone to boarding school together, and I'm being like, I'm from Texas, and I don't know anything you're talking about. I don't even know what that word means. So much about what I like to read depends on when I read it or when I discovered it. And so, So with Catcher in the Rye, I was like my freshman year of high school. This was my freshman year of college when I was feeling like that outsider. And I was so lucky that my best friend at college, my friend Rebecca, so smart, so well-read, amazing taste in music. I remember her like sitting me down, giving me this book, telling me about poets I would love, sending me pitchfork links, being like, this is what's up right now, girl. And everything she showed me changed my life. And this particular book was like completely life-changing. I reread this all the time. I give this book to like everyone I know. Yeah. And it's just like, he doesn't miss.
He doesn't miss. Yeah. It really captures though that sense of like the complete like paralysis of confidence that I think comes with trying to do anything creative.
Anything. Yeah, and just like, going through a breakup or getting rejected from some work thing you want, like every lesson from this, it just still hits so hard today.
My other favorite bit was the fact that every single letter begins with an elaborate excuse as to why he's late replying.
Yeah, isn't it so funny?
Like,
so real.
Relatable.
Oh my God, sorry I'm behind, I've been traveling.
Yeah, literally, he's like, I've just been so feeble and sick.
I mean, I really even just related to the initial conceit of just this idea of like wanting validation and to be told like you're good. Yeah, like, sure. I feel like you talk about that so much, like in your comedy, everything, just like the need for acceptance and like the gold star and approval. Like I just like everyone has felt like that for all of time. But I wanted to know like early on in your career, like who were the elders you were seeking out for advice or encouragement or whatever it might be.
Oh, like when I first moved to New York?
When you first were getting into comedy and you were like, could I actually do this?
Oh my God, yeah, it's so scary. I think, I was very lucky in that when I moved to New York, I tried to get into like commercial voiceover stuff, and I ended up having this voiceover teacher named Marla Curbin, who at the time was, I guess, in her 60s and taught in her studio in the West Village. And she was my teacher, and then we became friends. Then she became my mentor and almost like my New York grandma is what I'd call her. And I would basically just walk over to her house, lay on her bed for hours. We'd like order sushi. She would give me advice. And the advice was always like, chill out. The advice was always like,
do less.
Yeah, exactly. She's always like, whatever you're worried about, she's like, you're over, like, it's fine. Yeah. It's fine. Which is like what I needed at the time. Like, you're fine. You're being ridiculous. You're fine. And I just learned so much from her. And she passed away a few years ago. But I walk by her apartment all the time, and I still chat with her. And I feel so lucky that I had her, because finding a mentor like that is actually really difficult. And they mean so much. Yeah. And I'm actively looking for successful older women to give me advice. So reach out. I need help. I love that. And I can't wait till I've accomplished enough that some young girl needs help, and I'm gonna go, I got you.
I'm sure. I mean, people reach out to you.
Yeah, I feel like people will ask me for advice, and I'm like, I literally wish I had anything helpful to say to you.
I feel like that. I'm the blind leading the blind.
Right? Isn't it? Also, because like whatever industry you're like, anything creative is just like, it's so, there's no ladder, there's no steps. It's kind of all about just putting your work out there, I guess, and hoping for the best.
Totally.
I do think that's an interesting way to start talking about how to murder your life also, in which that like she does rise through the ranks in media in like the least traditional ways. Well, actually, like she does do the hierarchy of media, but like,
which I love reading about. It feels so vintage. Like, what's it like now in media?
Not like that.
Right?
We were just laughing before about hearing how it's like people's individual jobs just to write print captions. And print captions are important, but like it's a very different moment in time for sure. Yeah, I loved the book. My single favorite thing about it was how it sort of like gets rid of the stigma of not liking having mice in your apartment. I'm not tolerating that in my effing apartment. The world she describes in How to Murder Your Life, that version of New York is like, I don't know, I feel like for everyone, sounds like a golden age, but also awful at the same time.
Yeah, doesn't it break your heart a little bit that, I kind of miss, or I wish that I had experience any of that. A friend of mine from college who works in publishing, who's like the most well-read person, a total genius. He was like, here, this is the best book I've ever read in my life, and gave me his copy of How to Murder Your Life. And I remember vividly sitting on my couch where I lived with my shout-out ex-boyfriend in Crown Heights and not leaving the couch for the whole day. And just being like, I cannot stop. I cannot put this down. It's my favorite genre. It's like, it's so gritty. It's so real. It's so funny, so smart. I'm such a fan of hers. I adore her. But I just love her writing. She's so great.
Yeah, I was like so deeply obsessed with her Vice columns. And I just like, there's just one thing that she said, it wasn't in the book, but I'll always remember when she left XO Jane to go to Vice. I probably read this like after, but it was like basically saying she didn't want a full-time job. She's like, I'd rather be up all night at Laban taking angel dust and staring at the stars. And I was like, even the quotes you give are just like so, it's just like that, that level of having such a strong voice. But like to actually talk about your book, like I think that's what I loved so much about reading your poetry collection is like, it's hard to make poems sound just like the way you speak. And like I remember saying that they felt like reading like the text in your group chat.
I love it. That's why we have the little text on the cover. By the way, shout out to Perry who painted this. He's a genius. I was definitely inspired by her writing for sure. And I also think I always love, because I'm so like uncool and could never stay out at Le Bon having angel dust. Like I'm always like, where are the cool people doing? I want to read about their secret inner lives because I'm just in bed.
The secret academic weirdos and the secret cool. I know, me too. I'm in bed at 8 p.m. with my makeup off. I'm always loving life.
Yeah, the thing that connects all these books is I love reading other people's secrets. I could talk to you all about this stuff for way more.
Me too, I know.
I'm gonna get out of here, right?